Hey, welcome to the Wild Side. One more day. Hey, I want to tell you something. We're going to do a little team building. You may not realize it, but you've probably been part of more teams than you realize, whether you've been formal or informal. If you're in the workplace, if you're at church, if you were in athletics, you are part of a team. And I'm telling you, God is always putting together a team for His glory. Now, I tell you, if you will look in the Old Testament, I want you to think about 5 people that you would put on your all-star team. They could be a lot of different people and personalities. You might take Abraham, for example, or any of the patriarchs, or even perhaps Moses or Joshua. Hey, how about some of the great women of the Old Testament? How about Esther? And how about the judge of Deborah? I'll tell you, there's a lot of great, powerful women in a time in which they lived. I've always been fascinated about those great women of influence. But we would be amiss if we didn't include on our all-star team for God's glory the man Caleb. Why do I say Caleb? Caleb was only one of 2 out of a generation of people that was able to enter the Promised Land. So if he was that successful and God so blessed him in that manner, I think we would pause a moment to find out what were some characteristics that he had that we might want to implement on our team, in our personal life, and through our family, and perhaps our church. Well, number 1, he was a man that was consecrated. He devoted his life to the glory of God. He devoted his life to accomplish God's purpose. How do we know that? Well, he's described this way. It's a beautiful word, wholeheartedly. Hey, he was all in the game. And I'm telling you, if you've got a team, you want people that's all in. If you've got people that are half-hearted, if you have people just going through the motions, hey, listen, they're not doing you a favor. They're dragging down the team. I'm telling you, Caleb was wholehearted, and he was rewarded for it because he was consecrated. The other thing that I think is noteworthy is that we can identify with Caleb is that he was a man of great conscience. He had conviction. He had conviction. Remember, it was Caleb and Joshua along with 10 others. There was 12 that went into the Promised Land and spied out the Promised Land. And it says of Caleb that he was a man of conviction, giving a positive report, a can-do attitude for the glory of God, with the help of God, to claim the Promised Land for the children of Israel. Listen, contrary to that, there were the other 10 that it says in Joshua 14, others gave a negative report, and it says of this, that they melted the heart of the children of Israel. Hey, you could have 2 sides of the coin. You can have one that has conviction and believe that God can enable man to accomplish His purposes for His glory and for the benefit of man. So he had a great amount of conviction. And then lastly, we obviously would have to say that he was a man of great courage. How do we know that? Well, he certainly was instrumental in fighting a lot of the battles in the Promised Land. But here's what Caleb was able to do. He trusted God to go in the most difficult areas of Palestine, and he fought the Anakites. They were the people that were physically dwarfed many other people and other tribes of that area, and they were well established in all of Palestine. And Caleb, with his great courage, went into Palestine and defeated them. And it is said of Caleb, when he was around the area of Hebron, man, it was said of him that this was going to be the land that was going to be part of his inheritance. 45 years later, he has such courage that he goes to Joshua and says, "It's time. I've deserved this. I've trusted God with this inheritance. And God promised that through Moses that I would have the area of Hebron, just about 19 miles south and a little bit west of Jerusalem. But Hebron was certainly valued because it had a great water source and an enormous history around the area of Hebron. So if you're going to pick you an all-star team, you want people like Caleb to make a difference. Boy, we at Meadows Baptist Church, we're trying to build teams every day. We're so thrilled about the staff God has given to us and what just lies in the near future. If you could stream with us on Sunday or be on campus with us at 9:30 or 11 o'clock, I think we can grow together as a team for the glory of God. And may the God bless you during these days.